I can't believe my eyeballs because I proceed to watch the Celtics indeed do it again. They did it again. They gave up a 20-point lead to the New York Knicks. As this is the final sequence, Jalen Brunson makes a free throw. He made the last 6 points for the Knicks in this game. And Jayson Tatum has the ball. Are they going to call a timeout? Nope. Are they going to run the exact same play that they just ran? Oh, absolutely. Look at that defense by Mitchell Robinson and Jayson Tatum. Nope. A little double block action by OG, by Mikal. The game is over. The Celtics lose 91-90. That is the 5th 20-point comeback of this year's playoffs. And the thing about 20-point comebacks, in these kind of situations, when you have a team, let me put it this way. When you have a 20-point lead evaporate, you can call it two things. You can call it a 20-point comeback, or you can call it a meltdown. And I was going to ask you, CJ, was it a comeback or a meltdown, but you didn't watch. So I'm going to tell you, it was a meltdown. Again? It was a meltdown. Yes, it was absolutely a meltdown from the Celtics, because I will argue we have not even seen the Knicks play a great game. Like, yes, you have Mikal Bridges with 14 points in the fourth quarter. How many points did he have coming into the fourth quarter? 0. And he's taking contested shots. Like, it's shots that you would assume the Celtics want him to be taking. Jalen Brunson has 9 points in the fourth quarter, but ultimately, in the entirety of the game, how many points does Jalen Brunson have last night? 17. So he had 8 going into the fourth quarter. But when you are the Boston Celtics, who have now, in 2 fourth quarters, the Boston Celtics have made 9 total field goals in the last 2 fourth quarters.
That ain't good.
That's bad. Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges, they've combined for 12. So 2 players have scored more than the entire team for the Celtics in the fourth quarters of these last 2 games. And in game 2 alone, they go up 20. And yes, it was a sensible thing to assume that there was no way the Celtics could perform as poorly as they had the day before, or two days before. But the Celtics went 5 of 28 from the field after going up 20. They went 2 of 14 from 3, and they had 6 turnovers. I do not know how you can look at that and not say it is a choke job by the Celtics. They missed 13 straight shots.
13 straight
shots.
What were the shots?
All shots.
Okay, so they weren't just kicking it at the 3-point line.
They weren't all threes.
Just
no, and that was the
away.
thing early on. Like, watching the beginning of this game, it felt like they had more variety to their offense, both in variety of players finding ways to score and getting to the basket, finding the mid-range, taking some threes. But when you look at it again, they were 10 of 40 from 3 in this game. They have missed 73s in the last 2 games.
Okay, how much of that is defense?
Not enough. Because
Okay.
I watched Jayson Tatum on that 13th straight miss. It was a Jayson Tatum quarter 3 that absolutely should have gone in. I think it was Derek White gives up a good shot. They pass it, to have one more pass for a great shot, and Tatum misses. And I hate to be the person who perpetuates this conversation, but Jayson Tatum has to be better.
What do you mean? Why would you hate to be the person to point out when a...
Because I feel like everybody is dogging on Jayson Tatum right now, so it just feels a little excessive, but it's appropriate.
Okay.
It's absolutely appropriate.
Again, don't feel bad for that. You got to put that on the chart, right? Like, put it on the chart. Come on, man.
Let me fire up my therapy chart and say, dear therapist, today I felt bad being the 873rd person
to point out
that Jayson Tatum, he just doesn't have it in these kind of situations. And I was shocked to see this stat that, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be shocked, but it just solidified what you feel like you see. And this is just from 3. But in 3-point attempts between playoffs and the Olympics since the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals, Jayson Tatum is 66 of 237. That's 27%. That is not superstar material. That is not leader of a team material. And here we are this week having these conversations both about Jalen Brunson in this exact series, but also in Tyrese Halliburton having the ability to step up in critical moments for the Pacers and come up clutch. And not every player has the clutch gene, but if you are the leader of that team, there has to be more trust. And Jayson Tatum had every opportunity. Now, I don't think he was helped by the fact that they didn't call a timeout. And I don't understand why they're running the exact same play twice in a row. And kudos to Mitchell Robinson. He was a huge difference maker last night for the Knicks. And if you look at reasons why I felt and many thought that the Celtics would easily handle the Knicks is because you look at the regular season series between these teams, and they were really able to pick on Karl Anthony Towns a lot, and they like ramrolled him through the regular season, but not last night and not in game one. And it's not even because the Knicks are playing this spectacular brand of basketball. What the Knicks do, they're tough. They're the kind of team you love. They don't give up. They fight. They're physical. They get into it. And next thing you know, you're like, how the hell did they just come back and win this game?
How are they getting back into these games? Are they standing around just hoisting threes?
No.
Okay. All right, that's good.
But they are making contested shots.
Oh, making tough shots.
So making tough shots,
Gotcha.
getting in the basket. I mean, they're not taking a bunch of free throws. They
Okay.
took 8 free throws last night. They're getting rebounds. But they were out-rebounded last night.
They're just playing.
They're getting second chance
They're
points,
down
but they were
20
out
and
second chance points last night.
They get down 20 and they continue to just play basketball. They don't start pressing.
That's
They
a great way
don't
to put
start
it.
hoisting bad shots and taking
The Knicks play
contested
basketball.
threes. Okay.
And the Celtics stop playing basketball. And
All
if
right.
one team is playing basketball and the other team is not playing basketball, it's a little bit easier to give up a 20-point lead. And I'm not trying to say that 20 points is this critical mass. In today's NBA, 20 points is easily evaporated.
F that. 20 points in the fourth quarter is, you should
This
not
was
lose.
third quarter.
Okay, 20 points in the third quarter.
And it was like 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Oh, no, you shouldn't. 20 minutes, 5 minutes and less in the third quarter, you shouldn't be losing those types of games. No. No.
wild.
And in reading the things that I've read about the series and seeing did you read the chat?
I just read the chat.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know what's going on in there.
I'm so confused.
This is weird.
Also, it's really odd because it's coming from a Sharon, and both of our moms are Sharons. And
I'm pretty sure this is a Daryl. I have no clue what's going on.
Continue on with your thought.
Whatchamacallit? The things that I've read, the things that I've seen, the clips that I've seen pop off on Twitter and from experts who are talking about it, it seems to me like the Celtics have, to your point about just simply playing basketball, I guess my point that you backed up or whatever, the Celtics lean so much on the analytics of this game right now, where it is the best shot, the only shot worth taking is the three-pointer. Let's get a bunch of dudes, spread them out all over the court. Eventually, we'll get open looks at the three and just play the percentages. Enough threes will fall in, and we'll make enough of them, and we'll be good to go. And when you get up 20 late in games, it becomes a bit of that, like, know the time and the score, know the situation, understand what basketball is, and play basketball situationally to that point. Yes, it's gotten you up by this much. Sure, great, grand, good. Now it's the fourth quarter. Start taking some of the air out of the ball. Stop trying to hoist all of the threes. Get downhill. Get to the basket. Finish around the rim. I don't understand why the Celtics haven't done that. Admittedly,
I don't, and that's where I just wonder if it's because they've relied on it so much. And we just saw a similar situation with the Cavs, and I don't want to put the two together because the Cavs are down 3 of their 5 best players, and so it's a very different situation. But they couldn't hit a 3, and like when you can't hit threes and you rely heavily on hitting threes, it's like your brain breaks down the stretch and you don't know how to adapt and how to get to the basket. But the Celtics at least attempted to get to the basket last night. Like, it's not like they were solely reliant on the 3. But I was listening to them talk after the game, and Jayson Tatum didn't take the podium because, there was a fire alarm at TD Garden last night.
He pulled it. He pulled it. He pulled it.
What cartoon was it where someone pulled the fire alarm? Was it Doug? And they had like peanut butter on their hands, and that's how they traced it back to the person who pulled the fire alarm? It sounds
like either
in my brain somewhere.
Doug or Recess, one of those type cartoons. Did you ever pull the fire alarm?
No.
Did y'all ever do the the fire alarm? Okay.
Often. Did you ever pull the fire alarm?
No, never that.
I feel like there was like a streak where that was like the cool thing to do.
Crime.
Yes. And then they sat us down at an assembly and they brought like a police officer in and was like, the next person who does this is going to jail. And I look back and I'm like, no, you wouldn't. You could go to juvie. They threatened that they were going to put like a substance on it
to see?
Where if you, like it would explode.
Oh.
So it would like shoot paint at you.
Okay.
I don't know if that was true, but
No,
they told us it was.
I don't think that's true.
It's like when you pee in the pool and they're like, it's going to turn blue.
No, it just turns yellow. And everybody sees
anything.
it. No, it does. It does.
Anyway,
we all see you peeing in the pool, Jessica.
Listening to the Celtics talk, I just felt like I feel like there's a level of concern because they feel like they're playing good basketball, and it's just not producing a win. Like, there's not something that they're doing devastatingly wrong. They're just not winning, and they're not scoring at a rate where they're able to keep up with. They're defending well, but the Knicks are making good shots. And I do think the Knicks were so battle tested in that first round matchup against the Pistons that I was listening to Monica McNutt speak on it this morning, and she was saying that, you know, if they hadn't been in the type of games that they were in against Detroit, she's not sure that this Knicks team would have been poised to deliver the 2 comebacks that they did against the Celtics. And she is on the Knicks broadcast staff, so she watches them all season long, because we talked about it throughout the year. The Knicks were kind of the Grizzlies of the East. Like, they did not find ways to beat the good teams. They rose in the Eastern Conference standings because of beating bad teams. They beat the teams they were supposed to beat. But anytime they went up against one of the juggernauts, be it the Celtics or the Thunder or a team like that, they lost constantly. And now they're finding ways to win, which is just such a difference in the postseason. And now they're playing with confidence. And now they're going home to Madison Square Garden. And that building is going to be insane come Game 3. This was the first time... the first time that the NBA has had 2 60-win teams face a 2-0 deficit. I'm sorry, it's the first time it ever happened, and they have 2 because it's the Cavs and the Celtics in that situation. Also, what's going on with Kristaps Porzingis? That is a piece of this, because he's not well. He played a little bit last night, but he spoke afterwards like he's sick, and he was sick back in March, and it feels like it's something that has lingered onward. So that does provide a difference for Boston, but it shouldn't be a continuously blowing 20 points.
Much like Evan Mobley being out
Right.
for the Cavs.
Makes a big difference.
I understand that. Get the damn rebound if you're the Cavs. And Celtics stop blowing 20-point leads. While, yes, it does make a difference. You are up big in both of those games, and you're in control of those games until late. That is on those players out there on the court, not on the teams missing pretty big pieces. I understand that they're out. If they were out and it was a back and forth game the entire time, then I'd be, okay, let's talk about it. If they were out and it was the Celtics or the Cavs trying to storm back and just not having enough to get across the finish line, okay, I'd understand that as well. But for both of these teams to be up and in control of games until late, that's not on dudes being out. That's dudes on the court not executing and not meeting the moment.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.